I think we all know who rightfully deserves to wear that manager pin.
I couldn't agree more, sir.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Squidward was actually nice to SpongeBob.
Hooray!
For this list, we'll be looking at the most striking moments where everyone's favorite squid showed that he cares about his yellow neighbor. If you've never seen these bonding moments, expect spoilers ahead. What was your favorite Squidward and SpongeBob moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. A new Squidward. We all know the drill. SpongeBob Squarepants is the overly chipper neighbor, and Squidward Tentacles is the miserable grump. But what if the roles were reversed? After getting electrocuted by his security system, Squidward undergoes a complete personality swap.
And the little scallops that nibble on your fingers when you feed them?
Oh, yeah.
Can I come?
Ooh.
Yeah!
He becomes friendly, helpful, and basically everything else that SpongeBob is. Unfortunately, SpongeBob ultimately can't handle the taste of his own medicine. He becomes annoyed and jealous, especially when the new Squidward dethrones him as Employee of the Month.
Employee of the month!
Special delivery for this month's Employee of the Month.
The change is short-lived, but seeing the town's resident pessimist this cheery and eager was kind of adorable. Alas, Bikini Bottom just isn't big enough for 2 SpongeBobs. But can it handle 3 Squidwards?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what's the big idea?
Number 9. Captain Magma. When Mermaid Man needs help saving the world from evil, he asks for help from SpongeBob and his friends. Squidward doesn't want any part of it, but is forced to partake by Mr. Krabs. So he joins the new International Justice League of Super Acquaintances as Captain Magma. Surprisingly, he embraces the role and doesn't mind working alongside SpongeBob and the others.
Captain Magma! Get him angry and he's bound to erupt!
Krakatawa!
But he then accidentally sets off a chain of events that lead to the Super Acquaintances' downfall.
Krakatawa!
At least they all had a good laugh about it, and it was cool watching Squidward actually make an effort despite his initial reluctance. Number 8. Admitting he misses SpongeBob. Squidward will do anything for some alone time. While trying to get away from SpongeBob and Patrick, he accidentally locks himself in a freezer and wakes up far in the future. He then goes on a time-traveling adventure that takes him from prehistoric times to an empty, nihilistic void. It all proves too much for Squidward, who just wants to go home. He even loudly admits to missing SpongeBob.
I miss Bikini Bottom. I miss my Easter Island head. I even miss SpongeBob.
And he's genuinely happy to see his annoying neighbors at the reunion.
But now I'm back, and you don't know how happy I am to see you guys.
Granted, SpongeBob can be a bit of a nuisance at times, but putting up with him is a lot less traumatic than circling through time for all of eternity alone. Number 7. Killer Patty to the rescue. After being let go from the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob gets stuck in the middle of 4 costumed restaurateurs who all want him in their kitchen. They even get into a literal tug of war over it. But then the killer Krabby Patty swoops in, neutralizes them, and carries SpongeBob to safety.
Stop! Unhand that sponge!
The mysterious mascot turns out to be Squidward, who gets down on one knee and asks the fry cook to return to the Krusty Krab.
This place is terrible!
The Krusty Krab has really gone downhill.
While the cranky cashier was initially thrilled about the staffing change, he can't deny that the restaurant needs SpongeBob to survive.
I'm afraid so. SpongeBob,
Yes, Squidward?
you know I hate you, right?
Yes.
It's touching to see Squidward step in to save the little guy, and we're definitely impressed by his fighting skills. Number 6, going on strike. Fed up with Mr. Krabs' cheapskate ways, Squidward gets SpongeBob to go on strike with him. It's already empowering enough to see the grumpy cephalopod stand up for himself, but he also takes the time to teach his coworker how to fight for his rights.
Well, I am not paying that cheapskate crab 1 cent, and I suggest you do the same.
Why?
We've got to unite as workers and demand the respect we deserve from the boss.
It probably would have been easier to just protest alone, yet he recognizes that the fry cook is being taken advantage of too, and wants him to get the respect he deserves. Sadly, it takes a while for Squidward's teachings to really sink in.
And me and Squidward are gonna stay on strike until we get what we deserve, even if it takes forever!
And when they do, SpongeBob goes way too far. While the camaraderie was nice while it lasted,
We got our jobs back! Forever! 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 Forever!
Number 5, I love him and I hate him. Our favorite yellow fry cook is put on trial by Poseidon and faces execution, unless his friends can clear his name. During his testimony, Squidward recalls a time at Camp Coral when SpongeBob and Patrick gave up their award to make him feel better.
Patrick and I were, talking to one of the counselors, and guess what? There was a big mistake, and you actually won the Campy Award.
That's right, yep.
I did? In a landslide.
And in a funny yet heartwarming speech, he admits that while Squarepants annoys the heck out of him, he loves him and wants him to live.
Wow. And don't ever stop playing this. My clarinet. Look at me. I really did it. Yay!
Granted, the story's timeline doesn't quite match up with the new Camp Coral prequel series, but we're more than happy to look past all that because seeing SpongeBob's pessimistic neighbor acknowledge their friendship simply never gets old.
Oh, I can't stand SpongeBob, but at the same time, well, I love him. I love him, and I hate him.
Number 4, chewing out Mr. Krabs. When the Flying Dutchman comes for Mr. Krabs' soul, SpongeBob's the only one who stands up for the miser. Yet instead of thanking his most loyal employee, the crustacean trades him for pocket change. You'd expect Squidward to be happy that his irritating coworker is gone, right?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but how could you trade SpongeBob for 62 cents?
Instead, he rightfully shames Krabs for selling out the person who stuck by him when nobody else would.
He stuck up for you and you sold him out.
You know you've blown it when Squidward Tentacles is the one calling you out, especially in defense of the bane of his existence.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
What have I done?
Thankfully, his speech is effective and Krabs learns his lesson. Number 3, SpongeBob's final hours. Squidward really messes up when he accidentally gives SpongeBob a pie-shaped explosive and seemingly fails to retrieve it.
Kill him!
Here's your order, sir.
Thanks.
When it looks like the fry cook's time is almost up, the usually detached cephalopod sets out to make his final hours meaningful.
Actually, I keep a list of the most fun things I like to do. I call it my friendship list.
Great. Let me see it.
The things that are extra fun, I've written in red.
He endures every ridiculous, silly, and embarrassing activity the little sponge can think of in a bid to make him happy on his last day, and it touchingly ends with them watching the sunset together.
Well, at least I was able to make his last few hours meaningful. I am such a good person.
Of course, it turns out that SpongeBob's life wasn't in danger, so Squidward basically wasted a whole day humiliating himself for no reason. But even though his actions were motivated by guilt, it was still incredibly sweet of him to go all out for his yellow pal. Number 2, how to deal with entitled customers. This episode sees our Krusty Krab duo braving a perilous journey to deliver a Krabby Patty pizza. Naturally, SpongeBob can only think of satisfying the customer, while Squidward just wants to go home. But when they finally reach the address, the client turns out to be an entitled jerk. He screams at SpongeBob for forgetting his drink, driving the little guy to tears.
Sponge? Sponge? It's okay.
So Squidward gives the spoiled punk his just desserts. Anyone in food service can sympathize with this scene, especially since SpongeBob works harder than any other employee. Despite their differences, Squidward respects his colleague too much to let a customer mistreat him when he's gone above and beyond the call of duty.
Look, I told your little friend I ain't paying for that!
Well, this one's on the...
Did he change his mind?
He sure did.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Santa Squiddy. SpongeBob's very first Christmas isn't going so well, and Squidward's got no qualms about rubbing it in his face. But he has a change of heart when the forlorn creature gives him an incredibly thoughtful present.
I still want you to have this.
What's this?
A present. I made it for you so you wouldn't feel left out when Santa came.
He subsequently pretends to be Santa Claus to cheer him up, and ends up giving all the town's residents gifts from his house. Squidward didn't have to do that. He could have easily just let the fry cook stew in his own sadness. But SpongeBob's kindness touched him, and he felt compelled to show his gratitude. If this isn't proof that Squidward cares for the yellow fellow, then we're not sure what is.
I didn't bring Christmas to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob. You did.
I did?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.